Okay, so inner outer thigh today. I think we're going to start on our backs with the ball or the cushion that you'll need. So we're just going to warm the inner thighs up, pop it between the knees, and then just not a hard grip, okay? And then feet a little bit further away from the butts. I would say about a foot and a half. And then just your basic butt squeeze, pushing off the big toes specifically, keeping the feet completely flat though, so not coming up onto the toes. Just pushing, so you've got a little bit of pressure on the inside of the foot, and that in turn will create some pressure on the ball as well with the inner thigh. And just keep that belly button gently pulled towards the spine. I'm going to do 2 more here. Oh, okay. And then when you're done with that one, grab a band and let's have you up. We're going to work against the wall. So I've got a range of bands here. You're obviously just going to select one that you feel will work for you. This one is actually, it's not too serious if it's quite a heavy duty one, because we're not really pushing against the band. So we've done this before. You're going to have your, I would say about a foot from the wall, so that you've got a slight lean towards the wall. The elbows are up at shoulder height. Okay, if you've got a foam roller, it's even better if you can use the foam roller. Anyway, we're going to push the hands out against the band, but you're going to draw the elbows in so that you've got a straight line between the shoulder, the elbow, and the wrist. Okay, and then we're just going to slide up. So as you keep that external rotation, keep pushing against the band, you're going to slide up and down the wall. It's very subtle, but it's going to, you're going back to your elbows in line with the shoulders. Keep belly button pulled gently to the spine. Keep working on bringing those elbows in, because they're going to be wanting to splay. Oh, I'm going to do 2 more. Oh. Okay, that one's that's quite a tiring one, because you've got yourself into that position with the shoulders then engaged, as opposed to that, which brings in a lot more, brings more side shoulder in, side deltoid. Okay, so let's have you on your side now. We've done essentially a warm-up for those inner thighs. We're going to just do our standard on the hand. In fact, you know what? Start on your weaker side, whichever side that is for you. And then you're going to be up. If you can't do this version, you can go onto the elbow and you can do this. You can literally just do the lifting of the leg, or you can do it in a smaller range. The rest of you are up on the hand. The hand is under the shoulder more or less. It might be slightly forward, and then just into your, oh, my ball's in the way. The ball behind me, that is. Try and keep those knees parallel in between. Oh, and you're going to failure. So, and remember, often the second set may be slightly more comfortable than the first set. This is a very intense exercise. Okay, other side. I don't even actually know how many I did on the other side, but I think that's about right. Whew. Okay, back to the exercise against the wall. Okay, let's move this around. All right, so elbows up at shoulder height. Make sure you're about a foot from the wall. Okay. There we go. Belly button pull to the spine. Go as high as you can go, keeping the shoulder blades down and also keeping the elbows tucked in. Oh, that's my one problem with this left shoulder. Oh, it always wants to come out. Oh, the shoulder doesn't want to come out, the elbow wants to pop out because it's quite tight. Okay, so back to our inner thigh. Try and keep those knees parallel to one another as you bring them back in, because that's what's going to push you to work that much harder. If you drop it open, of course you're letting go in the inner thigh, so a bit harder to do. Okay, and again, the shoulders, about a foot away, elbows up at shoulder height. Make sure you have a straight line, elbow, shoulder, hand or wrist. Okay, belly button to spine. Tuck those elbows in. Oh, keep them tucked in, don't let them splay. Belly button pulled to the spine. Whew. Okay, back onto your side for those inner thigh again. Okay. I've got two more. Keep the belly button pulled so you've always got that switched on, and that will also help keep you stable in that exercise. Okay, other side. We're just doing 3 sets of everything today, so this is our last set of this one. Okay, whew. When you're finished, we're going to do external shoulder rotation. So you're going to grab a band for whatever works in terms of your external rotation strength. So I'm going with my very lightest one. Okay, you're going to slide the shoulder blades down the back. Those elbows will pop into the waist. The hands are up at elbow height. Make sure the sternum is high, and then just pushing out against the band. And it's not that you should do external shoulder rotation tucked into the waist all the time, because of course if you think about it, you've got other movements that will bring external shoulder movement in that are functionally, you know, everyday movements that aren't with the elbow locked against the side. So keep going. You know, if you did that, for example, let's say you were reaching behind you, that's external shoulder rotation. So you have to be able to work it in all sorts of different ranges. We just do it this way because It's an easy way to remain controlled and to still get the right muscle group. But you can, of course, if you were using long bands or a cable or something, you could adjust that position altogether. I mean, you could even work out, you know, with one working against the other one like so. You could switch them so you've got the action away from the sides. Okay, rest when you're done with that one. But it's just one way to do it, and as I say, to keep it controlled. We're going to go into external hip now. So this one is on the elbow. You've got two options. So the easy version is on the knee and the elbow with the leg out to the side. The more difficult one is on the full foot. Okay, and you can put the foot, if you prefer it that way, go for it. I can't do it that way, it just is uncomfortable for me. So leg is up. You can have the hand in front. You can put it on the hip. You can have it pointing to the ceiling. It's up to you. The idea is that you stay at hip height and you just work forward and then back to hip height, to neutral position. You don't go behind neutral, which is basically the heels lining up. Oh. Okay, when you're ready, make the switch. And then obviously try and keep those hips straight. So you're not turning them down towards the floor. Oh, I don't know how many I did there. I've got to stop talking and start concentrating, although that defeats the object really. Okay, when you're finished, and don't rush to finish, come back into your position. Okay, so remember, sternum is up, shoulder blades are coming down the back. Don't squeeze them together, just slide them down. Okay, elbows come to the sides, and if anything, the elbow will be slightly forward, not behind. Okay, so rather slightly forward will give you a better position. Okay, make sure there's a little bit of an arch in the lower back here, so you're not slumped this way. And think about pulling the belly button gently to the spine, so you've just got it actively engaged. Also watch what your wrists are doing. So if that's happening, that will give you an indication that you are trying to avoid the shoulder work. So keep it straight. Okay. Whew. If you get pain, obviously just work in a slightly smaller range then. Don't push it quite so far into external rotation, or otherwise work with a slightly lighter band. Because if the band is too heavy and you can't manage that, that may give you pain. All right, back to on your side. I'm going to do one more. Okay. I did count that time. Right, change to the other side. Oops, underneath leg. I forgot what we were doing for a minute. Keep it controlled, so you've always got, there's no ever a swing in the movement. You always want to make sure that it's well controlled, because of course the more you control it, the more muscle fiber recruitment, and the slower it is, the more efficient you are. In other words, every second or every movement will count, assuming you keep control over it. The minute you allow momentum in, you've lost the benefit of the exercise. Okay, so slide the shoulder blades down, belly button pull gently. Remember, don't push too far if there's pain. Don't let the wrists break. Keep the elbows slightly forward rather than back. Keep that sternum lifted so the chest is open. I'm going to do 2 more. Okay. And then one last time with the outer thigh on this exercise. So, coming onto the bottom leg. Keep it controlled and slow. Make sure you're up at hip height. And other side. Okay. Whew. All right. Let's go from here to we're going to do a sit up. Well, we're going to do a roll up, and we're going to do a version of the roll up. So you're going to come down onto your back, okay? And basically what you're going to do is you're not going to come all the way up. We're going to keep the legs long, unless you really struggle, in which case you can bend them. And you can, if you find you're struggling to get up, you can always use your hands, pull on your leggings. Okay, now we're starting here. We're going to come up to about 30 degrees. Sorry, I just had a frog in my throat. You're going to come up, keeping the belly button pulled down, so just to about 30 degrees, and then back again. Okay, so the most important thing is that that belly button is pulled tight. Keep it pulled in. And you're just working to just where that lower back is just coming off. But you're very rounded in the lower back, because you must stay rounded in order to bring the abs in. Okay. Whew. Should be starting to feel it. Keep it flat in the belly. I'm going to do 2 more. If you need the help, run your hands along your legs. So you're just kind of using the either the leggings or just this idea of pulling slightly on the back of the legs to get yourselves up. Okay. All right, so from there, we're going to come up. You're going to grab your cushion or ball, whichever you've got. Okay. And we're going to work against the wall into our external rotation with the hip. So, putting that ball against the base of the quadricep, or just against this, almost the top of the side of the knee. Make sure you are standing upright, so you're away from the wall no matter what you've got. You should have, if you've got a cushion there, it should really be wide enough. Maybe it's a folded pillow, but you should be free of the wall. Then you're going to take that inside leg up, and then you're going to roll. I'm going to have to move forward. You're going to roll the ball backwards if you can. With the cushion, you're going to hold the cushion because it's difficult against a wall to keep that cushion from sliding. So you're just going to hold the cushion, but you're going to try and aim to get the back side back. And with the ball, it's easier because you can just roll it backwards. You're going to aim to get the back side back out behind you, your weight on your heels, but keeping the big toe down at the same time. Now, because you're pushing against the ball or the cushion, you'll automatically be pushing outwards this way. It's a counter action, and that immediately should bring in the outer hip. Keep the belly button pulled to the spine, gently. And you're looking for a smoothness of the movement. So the middle of that kneecap should fall over the second toe, and it should be very, very smooth quality of the movement. Oh, okay. Going with the other side. So pop it down. Make sure you're standing upright. Okay, you're going to take the one leg off and then off we go. Remember, we're looking for quality of the movement, so really smooth. Stick your butt back out, get the heel down, get the toe down, push against the ball or the cushion, hold the cushion if you need to. You still get exactly the same workout. Keep the belly button pulled gently to the spine. I don't know how many I'm on. I'm going to do one more. This is my strongest side, so it never really feels it the way the other side does. All right, when you're done with that, you're going to come down and do your abdominal one again. So on your back, and then just coming into your more or less 30 degrees off the ground. Keeping the belly button pulled in. That's probably your most important aspect of this exercise, because if it's not pulled in, what you're going to be doing is using pressure against the abdominal wall to bring yourself up, to attempt to stabilize the pelvis while you do this exercise, and that's incorrect. So it's actually not a true reflection of abdominal strength. It's using pressure against the wall to help aid you. So you always want to be pulling it down. That way you get your transverse abdominis, your deep pelvic stabilizer working, as well as the rectus abdominis, which is your six-pack muscle. It should be burning at the top. I'm going to do two more. Keep that belly button pulled down. Oh. Okay. Back to the wall. Okay, so make sure you're standing upright. You've got it in the right position. Okay, inside leg up, and then we go. Make sure you're sticking your butt out. That's the action. Keep the belly button pulled gently to the spine. Watch the quality of the movement. I'm going to do two more. Oh. My working leg should be burning. That's the outside leg. Okay. All right, inside leg up. Keep the belly button pulled in. Make sure you're sticking that butt back. Just keeping that pressure on the big toe as well. Think about, the more you bend in the hip, the more you use the glutes to come back up. Whoops. So you want as much of the backside back as possible. I think I'm on my last one. Okay. And then we come back again for the abs. Let me go this way around. Okay, so on your back, and then up you come. Keeping the belly button pulled down. Make sure it's sucked in. And then, as I say, if you need to walk your way up your legs, just to make it easier, slightly easier, you can do that. You can also bend the knees, only that's a little bit harder because it pulls your pelvis back towards your head. So you have to pull a little bit harder on those hands to come up. That's fine. You've got that strength. It's just this way the pelvis is essentially turned away from you. So it helps in a weird way, even though it's harder with those legs long because you've stretched out the hip flexors, which means they're not really helping. So you've got half a dozen of one and 6 of the other, I guess. I'm going to do 2 more. Okay, one last time against the wall and then we're done. So stand up. Okay, here we go. Stick that butt back, get your weight onto your heels, big toes down, belly button pulled to the spine. Make sure you keep that. If you're working with a ball, try and roll it backwards. If you're working with a cushion, get as deep as you can. Hold on to it so that you've got a little bit of a back action to it. Oh, okay. I must say these are very useful balls if you can get one. They're just so lightweight. And I mean, they're easily pumped with a bicycle pump. So they're not high maintenance at all. Okay, other side. Make sure you've set it up properly so you've got that space between your shoulders and the wall. And I suggest, I mean, they've got different sizes in those. I think this larger version, because I see they do slightly smaller ones as well, but the slightly larger one is a better plan. Make sure the quality of the movement is good, so you've got a smooth action. Middle of the kneecap is over the second toe. You're bending at the hip, you're sticking your butt out, your weight is on the heel. I'm going to do one more. Make sure you're pushing. Oh, okay. And then when you're done, don't rush to finish, but when you're done, come to the middle and then just hang and relax here. Keep those knees soft. Take 3 breaths. You can put the elbows into the hands into the elbows if you like. And then when you're ready, just drop them and come up slowly. And that's your Monday workout. Thank you for joining me.